Yo, YouTube, what's up? So for the past 2 weeks, I've been growing Planaria. Well, they've been growing. I've just had the pleasure of watching them grow. And they've done quite well. I'm just going to show you what's happened and describe a bit of what's going on in their bodies to make this possible. So I've divided the 36 Planaria that I received in this box into 6 groups. Each group has a different condition or environment. So here in the first one, we have bisected, so I've cut them all in half and no magnets. In the second group here, we have bisected Planaria with strength 1 magnet on the bottom right there. They're all chilling on the side here. All the ones that have been cut in half, so we have the tails and the heads that have grown back, surprisingly. It's quite amazing how they grew back, because what happens is in this group 3 we have bisected with a strength 2 magnet, or 2 magnets right here. These ones have also all grown back, heads and tails, and actually more than the ones that have been under the lesser strength, which is surprising. In this group 4 here, we have bisected Planaria with the strength 3 magnet. So if you can't see, there's 3 magnets underneath there. They're also all chilling on the side. I think that means they want their water changed, or don't want but they perceive that their water must be changed because it's not quite eligible. Right here I've put this green leafy stuff is actually lettuce of some kind, which they eat. They're actually omnivores. They'll eat anything. They'll eat pieces of meat, they'll eat plants, they'll eat basically anything, including each other. So what I noticed is when I cut them in half, the still alive ones with the mouths and the heads would eat the digestive tract from the bisected ones. This eating of the digestive tract in the bisected Planaria didn't harm the Planaria at all. They kept on growing back. So, which is quite interesting, because right here, as you can see, this one doesn't actually have eyes. This is one of the tails that have grown back, and it's still alive. It's moving just as much as the other ones. Here we have one that does have eyes, so that's the head, and that looks like the tail. From group 5, I've actually removed them from this because they didn't seem to do very well. I've put them right into this one, which has quite large Planaria. This one is one of the ones that have been untreated, so not cut in half. They have not been bisected, and without no magnets at all, so without magnets either. And these ones actually grew the largest. As you can see, the lengths were 2 centimeters to 2.3. That's how they changed from day 7 to day 14. At the start they were smaller, maybe 1.7 was the largest. In this group 6, we have untreated Planaria with the strength 3 magnets. So there's only 2 groups that have been untreated, and that's group 5 and that's group 6 right here that we're on. They've been eating quite rapidly because they're the larger of the groups, including this one. So I'll just give you a backstory on how this works. Is the Planaria have neoblasts, or stem cells. Neoblasts are a type of stem cell that can grow back most tissues and components, so the muscle, the nervous system, and the digestive tract. When the Planaria are wounded, like I wounded them, I bisected them and cut them in half. A blastoma full of stem cells will form on the wound and replicate whichever tissues it needs to replicate to fix the wound. Like I mentioned earlier, the tail and the head end of the Planaria will regenerate. In fact, a Planaria has been observed growing back from 1/279th of the original Planaria. Each Planaria contains a small digestive tract that goes throughout the entire body, as well as 2 light-sensing eyes. This project did not come without casualties. As you can see in this one, many of them died. Well, not many, maybe 3 or 4 died. And what happens is they actually disintegrate, and as well 2 in this one disintegrated. In here my cat ate 2 of them, so there were casualties. Right here we can see that this planarian, right there, doesn't actually have a digestive tract. So this wasn't because negligence. I think it was more over that the planarian ate out the digestive tract of this poor little. In other projects that I've looked up online, they found that the magnets affected the growth of the planarian, whereas I found no difference. And also, when I looked it up online and I looked up how and why the magnets would affect these planarian, I found no eligible reason. In conclusion, it was found that all parts of the planarian, the tails and the heads of all planarian, grew back. Although I did not find that the magnets affected the regrowth. Although it was found that the magnets didn't actually affect the regeneration or regrowth of these planarian as expected. It was expected that due to the magnetism, the planarian that were under the magnetism would have a decreased growth rate. These expectations came from some other school projects that I found online and researched, and basically the tendency was that the planarian would have decreased growth rates due to the magnetism in these projects, and these will be in the comment section below. In further research that I did online, I found that other than the school projects, the rest of the scientific community had found that there was no difference when you put planarian under magnetism. This phenomenon of magnetism affecting planarian is still being researched today and hasn't had an answer. For instance, I question why this is happening. I wondered whether there was research to show that magnetism affected cell growth or organisms at all. For example, increased magnetic field strength increases the speed of seed germination. Although the growth rate of planarian may not be affected by magnetism, new evidence reveals that the ability of plants to perceive and respond quickly to varying magnetic fields, altering their gene expression and phenotype. The precise mechanisms of these effects are still under investigation. Hypothetical mechanisms of the interaction of magnetic fields in biological systems include classical and quantum oscillator models, cyclotron resonance model, interference of quantum states of bound ions and electrons, coherent quantum excitations, biological effects of torsion fields accompanying magnetic fields, biological active metastable systems of liquid water, free radical reactions and other spin mechanisms, parametric resonance model, stochastic resonance as an amplifier mechanism in magnetobiology and other random processes, phase transitions in biophysical systems displaying liquid crystal ordering, bifurcation behavior of solutions of nonlinear chemical kinetics equations, radiotechnical models in biological structures and tissues are portrayed as equivalent electrical circuits, and microscopic charged vortices in cytoplasm. Mechanisms combining these concepts and models could not be excluded. I did not read that.